Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are sharing the ways that we can rise above ourselves. One of the amazing things about this week's energy is it allows us to fully see the true reality of our internal work and our external work, and we can use that enlightenment, that elevated perspective, to rethink the way we're doing things, most specifically, how we allow the external reality to affect us, to choose to be constant and consistent no matter what, and in doing so, actually create a new path, right? Being a different version of ourselves is forging a new road ahead for us, no longer requiring the old patterns in the old movie. And we want to talk about what are the ways to break through, to break free from those old perspectives, and really start living this week in a reality that is more connected, more guided, and more inspired. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do so by gleaning through the wisdom of Kabbalah and extracting the most powerful lessons and tools to help you not only this week, but any week of the year, any year of your life. And so our guiding light is really that question: am I driven by the internal or the external? And every time I catch myself, how can I switch from external to internal so that growth becomes exponential and not only limited to the situation in front of me? So Eitan, how should we begin?
In this portion, the Torah speaks about the menorah. In the word that used at the beginning of the portion, ba'alotcha, when you elevate the light of the menorah. How does the menorah or the light of the menorah connects to internal? Because it says that light of the menorah was eternal light. And it's activating this dimension that never changes. While there's many levels of consciousness, let's look at this from the internal to the external. Even the light of our soul, shining light that never diminishes. As you become more externally connected to it, there's layers, there are fears, there are blockages, there are egos, there are what we call klipot and shells. You don't see and feel constantly the light, but internally, in a deeper dimension, beneath all the layers of limitations, of blockages, of perception, is a constant light, constant energy of love, energy of giving, energy of growth. The whole purpose of this walk, the whole purpose of this weekly energy is to give all of us the strength, regardless what's happening externally, the ups and downs of the external, to tap into this inner and eternal light that never ceases from shining. Actually, when we are talking spiritually about we're here to raise our consciousness, what does it mean? It means to become more internal. That doesn't matter what's happening in my life, I'm trusting the Creator. Doesn't matter how great things in my life, I know it's the Creator, it's not me. And I keep pushing forward to grow. Doesn't matter how bad things in my life, I'm not falling into the external reality, things are bad. There's constant light internally. So Aaron, Moses' brother, was chosen to be the one to light the menorah in the tabernacle in the Holy Temple. And the commentators say why Aaron was chosen? Because it doesn't matter what happened. He did an amazing job of leadership. He was humble, connecting to the Creator. I'm just the channel. He went through a major catastrophe, lost his own son, the worst thing in the world. It says about Aaron, he paused, va'idom, he was silent, he became internal, and he actually knew, and he opened himself to experience this, the light of the Creator, the light of love and support, never stop shining in spite of the external horrible news. And because he connected to that internal dimension, also externally, things turn around. And he realized actually his children are immortal and they will come as Elijah the prophet and so on. So I think the first topic I would love to speak about, because there's a lot in this portion, complaining. Let's speak about complaining. Because whenever we are irritated by external situations and we're not even making an effort to become an internal, we'll complain. Some of us will complain verbally. Some of us will complain about others, about ourselves, about situations, about the weather, about life. And some of us will share it with other people, will drain energy. And some of us complaining in our mind. We're hearing a voice of complaint. More I am complaining, I'm complaining about the external reality, the illusionary reality, the reality of ups and downs, and I'm attaching myself to that reality. The result, I'm disconnected from the internal dimension with the light of the Creator is there all the time. So what would you say, Elisheva, as some of the tools and the guidelines when we catch ourselves in a complaining mode to become more internal?
It's a great question. I mean, I personally, I remember a lecture that Michael Berg shared not so long ago about how when we complain, it's though we're speaking badly about the Creator. When we don't when we're focused externally and critical and rejecting reality, it's essentially telling the Creator you're making a mistake. And of course, that analogy is funny in a way, and it helps us to interrupt the pattern of complaining when you think, okay, I don't really want to be insulting the Creator here. For me, I go to another reminder, and I think at the end of the day, part of the reason that we complain is that we don't truly trust. Like you said in the beginning, we're lacking at the next level of trust in the light of the Creator and in our connection to the light of the Creator. And I'm reminded of the analogy that Rav Ashla gives about how when you're sitting back to back with a friend and you're talking to them, even though you're not, you might even be able to sit closer to them than you would if you were face to face. But being back to back with them makes you doubt if they're hearing you or not, if they got your message, if they're paying attention, right? Because you're lacking the visual, the eye connection, right? Sometimes even now when we sit face to face with someone and they're on their phone, you have to ask them, are you listening? Are you paying attention? But the analogy that Rav Ashlag uses to the sitting back to back with a friend versus sitting face to face with them is that's where I go when I either hear someone complaining or I find myself complaining, is that I realize that I am interfering with that connection. And first of all, I think it's also important to say that our connection with the Creator isn't like a connection with another person. Our telephone, our direct line is within us. It's not external. And that may be contrary to what a lot of people have been raised to think about prayer or talking to the Creator. In order to pray, you don't need to be in a house of worship. In order to pray, you don't need to be articulating certain words or verses or ceremonies. The Kabbalists teach that our internal dialogue, right, our intuition, our inner requests, our prayers are really something that's done internally. So when I go external, when I go to the outside of me for the sake of delivering a message to the universe, which I'm doing whether I'm conscious of it or not. When I complain about reality, I am giving the universe a message. I am setting a tone for the future in what reality I experience. But more importantly, in those moments where there's discontent or complaining about what's going on in the external reality, that's when I am reminded to go inward and to not let my dissatisfaction with what's going on or criticism of what's going on disconnect me from my source, disconnect me from the light within me, because that's what's it sounds like we're accusing something outside of us of being disconnected when really we're disconnecting ourselves. And so I think that as we get more comfortable with that dialogue, those conversations with the Creator, we realize that they're not only the prayers that we say, God, please let me get this job, or God, please heal this person, or help me stay connected and aligned. I just had a conversation with someone where they were saying they were asking the light of the Creator to speak through them, to give them the right words. That's not the only thing that the Creator hears. Everything is a broadcast. So as we're complaining and criticizing, to realize I don't want those seeds of reactivity to sprout up anywhere in my life. I want to catch myself and go inward and rely on the trust I have that despite how it looks or how it feels or who's doing what wrong, which is especially easy when you look at the public reality, TV, news, whatever, is to remember whatever's happening in front of me right now is happening so that I will strengthen my connection to my source, to my creator, to my soul. And I don't want to let it do the opposite. So it's not an easy thing to catch yourself, but once you do, you pause, you catch yourself in that state. How the real test of success is how quickly do I turn inward and not let it be about what's going on externally.
That's beautiful. So let me summarize what you said as a practical tool. So every time we catch ourselves irritated, upset about something, which is complaining. When I'm complaining or have a narrative in my mind that thinking about that things that bothers me, anything that I'm bothered by, I might need to deal with it. But it's number one idea, I'm attached to the external. Kabbalistically, klipot, negative forces are sitting in the external dimension, not in the internal. So first, pause. I don't want to go there. How do I stop my mind? By overthinking about it? No. Become internal. How do I become internal to this dimension that I want to attach myself? It's very simple. Whatever I'm attached myself to, that will be my reality. I'm attached to complaining / external, that will be my reality. Ups and downs and negativity and chaos. Then I'm saying, wow, I want to connect to the internal. Where is that internal? In this very moment, in the now. In the now, and in whatever, sometimes whatever is actually aching me, get deeper beneath that, embrace that internally. What does it mean, breathe? Be deeper. Get to that discomfort, irritation. Don't think about, the first step about internal is don't think about people. Don't think about situation. Think about yourself. I'm the internal of the world. So first, take every challenge that's happening. It's in me. That's already first step of internal. Number two, what in me bothers me? My heart, my emotions. Accept that. Get internal. Embrace the discomfort and say, breathe deeper into that. Deeper and deeper and deeper. I know there's a constant light that doesn't change inside. I trust that light. I want to attach. I'm still irritated. Please, the Creator, help me to connect to this internal dimension that I know that you are there. The everlasting light. The light of the menorah is the everlasting light, the everlasting blessing, the everlasting love that never changes. And then support will come to break out of the pattern from the world, from future, from other people, from money situations. So what they've done, bring it back to you, to the feeling, to the emotion, to the now, and internally to the light of the Creator that is in you. That's number one. Number two, validation. Validation. External validation, internal validation. Validation, it's important. It's love, it's connection, it's circuitry. The question is, why am I doing things? For the sake of validation? Or for the sake of internal validation, connecting to this, being bonded, being loved and being loving to that internal light of the Creator that is within me? I have to ask myself all day long, why am I doing it? Why am I saying it? Why am I doing this action? Why am I pushing myself spiritually? Why am I saying yes? For external validation or for internal connection, validation, love? Validation is the love of the Creator within me. People know about it, people don't know about it. And actually, more I'm doing that, more I'm developing that inner connection to within. Another thing, external versus internal. How do you view yourself? There's few constant things, if you truly appreciate your soul, you would like to focus no matter what's happening in your life. Number one, I know the source of all my blessing is the light of the Creator, and without Him, I'm nobody. You want to maintain this contact all the time. You want to maintain the contact all the time. I'm open to learn new lessons about myself every day. Rav Ashlag said the main indicator of growth, you're learning new lessons about yourself every day. No matter what's up, you did something amazing. People told you, wow, you changed my life. Are you learning new lessons about yourself today? No, give me a break. I was loved today. I was appreciated today. Then you're attached to external. Internal means don't change the main value of life. I trust I'm just channel of the Creator. The Creator is the source of all my good, regardless all the applause I'm getting from outside. Number two, I want to learn new lessons about myself today. Number three, I want to maintain joy no matter what, because the Creator is infinite energy of good and He created me and I trust myself. I want to connect to joy, not based on results. Am I focusing to be constant with those principles, or it changes depend? When things are bad, I have to ask question, what's my lesson? When things are good, don't ask any question. Then you're external. And the last tool I would say, the Zohar tells us in this weekly portion. There's the stories of the Torah, and there's the deeper secrets of the Torah, which Kabbalah and the Zohar. How does the teachings of Kabbalah called? The inner part of the Torah. The reason why we study Zohar, the reason why we study Kabbalah, is to awaken our ability to see the internal inner energy of the Creator in anything, in other people, in ourselves, in every situation. This dimension that is constant light, all our goal is to get deeper to the inner, to the inner, to the inner. And when that becomes our perception all day, that's when there's major breakthroughs for us and for the world. So that's the purpose of the Zohar. That's the purpose of Kabbalah, the inner part, not just because I would love to learn secrets, I'm curious, because I want to awaken my ability to connect, to zoom in into that eternal light. There's no angry God and loving God. There's only loving God. Externally, it looks like that.
I'm thinking about all of our listeners who are new to this path, that maybe what we've been talking about so far today has been big and heavy and deep. And I'm thinking that maybe the simplest or the easiest way to combat that tendency to look outward and complain and criticize and judge is really gratitude. That it's hard to simultaneously be grateful, appreciate, and also attack. And so even as on a daily, in a moment to moment way, to be able to catch yourself when the complainer in you starts to emerge, or maybe you have that one person at work that you complain to, that you share the same grievances with, or it could be a relative that you complain about different things with, and there's kind of an energy that you derive from doing it. When those thoughts come up, find one thing, two things, three things to be grateful for. It might even be about the person you want to complain about or the situation that you want to complain about, but it can be as simple as just taking a breath and saying how wonderful it is that I have eyes to find what's wrong about what this situation, that you really, in order to create a different habit, a different pattern, you have to interrupt that pattern in a serious way. And I believe, I've experienced that when you can almost in a comical way flip the script, not only I'm not complaining, but I'm actually appreciating something about what's going on, it changes the way you think about it. But the Kabbalists go further and say developing a daily practice of gratitude in the morning already shifts your energy out of things are not good, I'm not getting what I want, things are not moving according to my plan, this person's the problem, that situation's a problem. Already beginning the day, setting it out proactively to look for the good, to see the good, to recognize there's good that I'm not even aware of, can really make a difference. And it's funny because I'm thinking about the way that this week's energy coincides with the energy of the month of Gemini. The gift of Gemini is communication. But there's also this tendency this month to speak without thinking, to let your words to let your words run, to how do we say, to let your mouth run. I think it's especially important, given this week's energy, to be even more discerning, even more careful about our communication, and making sure that even if we do have something critical to say, we find a way to say it that is empowering and solution forward, rather than just stating the problem, stating the issue, attacking the individual or the situation. I think that there, especially when it's more challenging, and this is something that we talk about every month, is that when it's harder to accomplish something, when you're swimming upstream and you're able to make the change, it leaves a much more deep imprint on, like paves a better road for you going forward than when you make that effort in a time where it's not challenging. So hopefully everybody will take inspiration in paying more attention to the way we use our words this month, especially this week, when there is that opportunity to heal the complainer within, that we utilize that at least to our advantage. Eitan, any final thoughts before we sign off?
I think just what you said, it's so important. Grateful is internal, complaining is external. It's so essential. That's the reason it's so important to actually to fight, to penetrate to the dimension of gratefulness. Because in the true reality, we're given so much more than we could ever earn. And complaining is connected to such a lie about our life. So it's so powerful.
Amazing. And I think
Penetrate to the dimension of gratefulness.
that's really the container to receive whatever we're meant to receive from the situation we're complaining about. So it's right on time. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms to receive more content to support you in living what we share in every episode. You can also visit weeklyenergyboost.com, where you'll find our archives, a way to send us a message, and a donate button so that you can support the production of Weekly Energy Boost. But as always, the greatest gift, and we're eternally grateful for you sharing this episode, rating and reviewing if you haven't yet, wherever you're listening. And we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.